Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I rise today to recognize an extraordinary sacrifice by a resident of Brooklyn, New York. Private First Class Raymond Andrew Smith was 18 years old when he made the ultimate sacrifice for our country during the Battle of Chosin Reservoir, Korean War. Growing up, Raymond and his sister Helen experienced a difficult childhood in foster care, forcing them to take on responsibilities far beyond their years. And despite the challenges he faced, at the age of 14, Raymond joined the Navy. Once Raymond's age was discovered by his superiors, the Navy granted him an honorable discharge. But that wouldn't stop Raymond's drive for service. 4 years later, Raymond enlisted in the United States Army, and after 6 months, he was shipped off to fight in the Korean War. The Korean War began in June of 1950 when General Douglas MacArthur, alongside South Korean and UN forces, made significant progress into the north with hopes of uniting the two countries again. However, Communist China under Mao Zedong had other plans and sent roughly 100,000 troops to the Chosin Reservoir to counter progress made by America and our allies, leading to the Battle of Chosin Reservoir. With the 7th Infantry Division, Raymond fought in this battle, a battle many military experts and scholars consider to be one of the most brutal conflicts in modern history due to the sheer fierceness of our opponents and severe weather elements. For 17 days, the Battle of Chosin Reservoir raged on. In that time frame, it's estimated that the United States suffered 18,000 casualties, while the Chinese suffered upwards of 50,000 casualties, 30,000 just from the freezing cold alone. During the battle, temperatures were said to have dropped to a chilling -35 degrees Fahrenheit. Medical supplies froze solid, rendering them useless. Weapons seized and failed to function, and digging foxholes was nearly impossible without the use of machinery. At -35 degrees Fahrenheit, the human body sets into hypothermic shock in only 5 to 7 minutes. Private First Class Raymond Smith was one of the first to make contact with the enemy. Raymond and his peers were vastly outnumbered, and while they fought valiantly, he was sadly reported missing on December 2nd, 1950, presumed to be dead. On July 27, 2018, following a summit between then-President Donald Trump and North Korean Supreme Leader Kim Jong-un, North Korea returned 55 boxes that contained the remains of American service members killed during the Korean War. And on March 25, 2021, Raymond's family finally received closure when his remains were finally identified and accounted for after 71 unbearable years for his family. Raymond's remains were returned to New York City, where his sister Helen, her children, a full U.S. military honor guard, and the Port Authority police were there to welcome him home. I wanted to take this time today to ensure Raymond's memory lives on and his sacrifices will not be forgotten. Currently, there are more than 81,600 Americans that remain missing from World War II, the Korean War, and Vietnam, the Cold War, the Gulf Wars, and other conflicts. Let this give us hope that we return them all home, and that I urge the administration and my colleagues to work toward the return of all prisoners of war and a full accounting and the repatriation of our fallen service members' remains. Thank you.
The chair recognizes the gentleman from Washington.